Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Tazewell County. This is Tazewell episode number 11, and we find ourselves at the start of a brand new game day number 9, the last game day of spring. Now, you know I like to sort of bring emphasis to the first day of the season and the last day of the season and everything because, well, it's usually quite important. It usually dictates what we can maybe begin doing that we couldn't do before, or maybe what we have to kind of start to hurry up and wrap up, something like that. However, because of the fact that we're playing in such a mild climate here, we've actually been obviously planting soybeans, which is something that we have just not been able to do on other maps this early in the year, in the springtime time frame. And so we're pretty much on schedule, maybe even ahead of schedule when it comes to thinking about our planting and such. And so just kind of looking over the things that need to be done today. We do keep a sort of a checklist of stuff that we need to do here on the farm. And of course, Billy Bob and Jack are certainly co-responsible for making sure that we keep everything going, keep everything done that needs to be done. And the boys are out in the fields today, working this morning already, getting our soybeans done in field number 3. It's one of the larger fields that we have for our soybean crops here on Tazewell County. And so they're busy out there working away, doing those kind of things. And we are just kind of stuck here doing some other odds and ends around the farm. We need to move this hay, or a couple of bales of hay, into our cow barn here, so that they have some hay to munch on. Let's see, I think we can feed it in here. I know I often talk about this, how I sort of forget what we can do and how we can do it. Yeah, there goes the hay. So let's see what that brought them up to. Let's go ahead and grab a bale of straw. We won't do a whole lot here with the animals. I will kind of do some of this stuff and keep some of this stuff going sort of off camera. Probably our main job for today is we're going to start spraying a couple of fields that we need to spray with fertilizer, just to stay on top of that. And yeah, just kind of wait until either one of two things occur. First of all, we've got some wheat planted in about a field and a half or so of that. And then the other thing, obviously, that we have that we possibly will be able to do soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, is do a little bit of grass cutting, a little bit of grass mowing. And hopefully we can enjoy doing some of that in the next couple of game days, I would hope. It's kind of weird, the grass growth and everything on this map, and it may just be that I'm playing a version that hasn't got all the fixes and everything that maybe some of the others might have. But just in looking at our growth here on the grass situation, this went from growing to harvested here, this grass area on field number 17. And you might remember from the very early days of this series, we planted a portion of that field in grass, and the other portion of that field we planted in wheat. Come on, in wheat. And so it went from, in the previous game day number 8, it went from growing a green color to purple harvested, just in the transition of the game day. I did walk out there and look at it, and it certainly lower. The grass is visibly lower than what we see it in the verge area and everything. So hopefully all that really means is that maybe just another game day or two, and we'll be able to take care of that. So and by take care of that, I mean mow. So because we do need to get some more hay, we probably need to get some silage going, and or some more silage going. Let's see what we happen to have here in our silage tanks. About 11.5 on that one. and about 33,000 on the second one. But you know, those things will go fast if we are not careful. All right, well, just to kind of break out of the role playing and the map storyline and everything for just a few moments, I do want to say that I'm recording this episode on the 24th of February, with the intention that this map will be visible for viewing on YouTube on Monday, March the 5th. Now, as of the moment in time, this is Saturday morning. Not too early, about 7:30 in the morning or so. I did manage to sleep in just a little bit. But at the present point in time, again, the 24th, Saturday the 24th of February, this map, the version 2 of Tazewell County, is still not available for public download anywhere. And I can only apologize, and I think that, most of you understand that I'm not the map author, the mod author of this map. I simply could not mod my way out of a wet paper sack if the instructions were printed both inside and out. I have basically two left hands when it comes to modding of pretty much any sort of variety. Yes, I can go into Giants Editor, I can load up a map in GE, and I can remove some things. I managed to add the toolbox mod to Mountain Valley Farm. Those kind of things I was able to do with relative ease. Well, I will say I had the help of my dear friend and coach, Eustace Pharmer, who basically was able to kind of talk me through some of the things that I needed to do with regards to all of that. And so, but the map is not available yet, and I know that it is. I know it is frustrating. If I am honest with myself and obviously with you, the most important thing is to be honest with my audience. I would have to say that I understand that it is annoying. I have been in your shoes before I began producing content for folks to enjoy on YouTube. I was a YouTube farm sim viewer, and I had a few folks that I enjoyed watching, and occasionally these guys would have the opportunity to play a map that wasn't yet available. And of course, we'll all find ourselves in that situation, yours truly included, because I'm certainly nothing special when it comes to Giants, and I don't expect to have the opportunity to get an opportunity to play Farm Sim 19 before it's generally available to everyone else. But having said all of this, I know it's frustrating to see me play a map or see me use a mod, play with a mod or whatever, and you guys not have access to it. And I think that, the SimStation is obviously the mod author behind Tazewell County, and this is not it's not down to him. It's not his delays. It's not anything to do with that. I know that he had intentions, or he had plans on getting this on Giants Mod Hub. I'm pretty sure, because that's where version 1 is of this map, which there's some significant differences between the two, obviously. And so I think that he has attempted to submit version 2, which is sort of the version I'm playing. It is the version that I'm playing, obviously. He has submitted that to Giants, and I believe that Giants did kick it back for some potential problems or changes or things that he needed to do on his end with the map. And of course, those changes or adjustments, whatever those are, have not been incorporated into the version that I'm playing. But I guess long story short, what I'm trying to say here is that he has been working. I'm pretty sure that he's been making the changes, the updates, and everything that Giant have prescribed, and making every effort to get it uploaded to Giants Mod Hub and or FSUK. And I believe that the general rule is for Giants Mod Hub is that it cannot be hosted anywhere else for a period of time and so I don't know if he's sort of given up on getting it onto Giants Mod Hub and is just going to go direct to FSUK. But anyway, long story short is even on the 24th of February, this map is not available on Giants Mod Hub and or FSUK at the present time, and I fully understand. I fully understand the frustrations that you all are experiencing, because many of you have been asking about the progress, about when it will be available, and of course I know you're excited to want to play it, and I know that you don't hold any ill will or intentions or anything towards me with regards to that. I know that it's I've just had the opportunity to play it early and to sort of be able to debut it for you, but at the same time, let's see, what am I doing? I'm just driving around, backing up and trying to figure out, let's spray field number 7. And I guess that some folks could have a differing opinion with relation to the whole approval process for the Giants Mod Hub, and I'm going to bring up GPS here. Bear with me just a moment. All right, we'll bring up GPS for a moment, and I will clear the HUDs off the screen and give you guys some different things to look at here besides just the back end of my vehicle all the time. I know that there are probably differing opinions out there with regards to how folks feel about the whole Giants Mod Hub approval process and the delays and all that that is associated with it. And I know that some modders have decided to essentially sort of give up on publishing mods, whether it be maps or other types of Farm Sim 17 mods to Giants Mod Hub, just simply because of all of the difficulties that at least they view as being hurdles or whatever to getting their content, getting their stuff, if you will, approved and available for download and everything for folks to enjoy. I, on the other hand, don't view that as a dilemma or as a problem. I honestly see that as a good thing. I see that as a good thing for us, the consumer, if you will, of these mods. I would have to say that I am a little gun shy when it comes to downloading mods. I've talked about this ad nauseum, and I'm not going to really go back into all of those details. I've written blog articles, and I have again sort of spoken about these things again at many different videos and forums and all this kind of stuff with regards to let's turn here and get this other side over here. We'll drive up and do this. I'll tell you what, let's just do it this way. But I view it, ladies and gentlemen, I view it as a good thing, and the reason why I say a good thing is simply because I believe that there's a level of peace of mind that that I feel it may be a false sense of security or whatever, but I feel like that in the process of which one that is going to mod and make these wonderful maps and other things for us to enjoy with the game, if you have somebody that's checking, that's ensuring that the mod, the map, or whatever is thoroughly compatible with everything that is built into the game, with that version of the game, the patches and all this kind of stuff, I see that as being a good thing. I see that as being a good thing for all of us involved, because it simply should tell us, hopefully it will tell us, that we're not going to have any problems with it, or at least we won't have many problems with it, I guess is what we perhaps should say. I don't know if that's just a bunch of nonsense or not, but that's kind of the way that I think about it. And I think that as we're sort of tilted here, hopefully we'll straighten up here. But I think that's at least how I look at it. Now, you know, you are subject, you're entitled to your very own opinions and feelings and everything, and maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just way off base here. I don't know, but in my thinking, I have almost gone to a point to where that, especially with the equipment mods and stuff like that, I really do prefer to be able to find them on the Giants Mod Hub, because it is so easy to keep up with the updates and everything. I've talked about this with regards to even ATS and ETS2, the Steam Workshop. That was one of the most brilliant things that came about in the world of mods that relate to those two wonderful trucking simulation games, is the Steam Workshop, and how that, you know, if we download a mod from the Steam Workshop, whether it be a truck or a sort of a process mod or whatever, that, you know, maybe I don't know, longer stoplights or whatever the deal is. If that mod gets updated, then obviously it's easy to manage that. It's almost automatic in that sense, and so very easy to deal with. And we kind of know that well, things are gonna work with the version of the game that we're currently playing and everything. And it would make it so much easier. I wish that I certainly wish that the folks that do pro mods, I certainly wish that the pro mods team could actually get access to and be able to set up pro mods within the Steam Workshop, because that would make updating that so much easier, because that is kind of a well, it's not a straightforward process. Let's just leave it at that. But enough of that, and let's get back to the subject at hand, and that is, you know, Giants and Farm Sim 17. So I take my hat off to all of those wonderful mod creators. You guys know how I feel about them. You know that I have the utmost respect for them, and you know, someone, if they've made a decision to essentially pull themselves back from the whole Giants Mod Hub process and everything, you know, I will certainly support that, and I understand what they may be going through and everything. But I think that for those of us that, you know, enjoy the game, that want to play the game and everything, I think that there is a level of peace of mind and everything that goes with being able to download mods through Giants Mod Hub and everything. That I hope that, you know, Giants will continue to improve that whole functionality and everything with Farm Sim 19. I certainly hope that that's something that's not gonna go away. I doubt that it will. I think it's working quite well for them, and so anyway, that's sort of my thoughts. But you know, I don't know. I know that Farmer Klein posted a message in the video from last week, in the Tazewell County video from last week, stating that the SimStation was essentially trying to get the this map on FSUK, and so that I think he had mentioned that the availability for that, or the time that it would be uploaded, was pretty much imminent. But as of this morning, again, Saturday the 24th of February, that has yet to appear as a download. Now, you may see it as version 1, but that is not the same version as this, and there have been significant changes, and changes for the good, that have been put in for all of us to enjoy, and I think it's well worth the wait to basically wait for that. So let me go ahead and turn around here and head back over this direction, and we'll find our GPS course that we need to run here, which I think is right here, and we will just finish out this field here, and then I will let you all get on with the rest of your stuff that you've got going on. So just a little bit of an update on all the DIY stuff that I've got going on. I've been sort of filling you all in these episodes. if you love DIY, or even if you despise it, well, you can sort of live vicariously, I suppose, through my endeavors with doing DIY stuff. So last weekend was the long weekend, the President's Day holiday weekend for the US. It was a company holiday. Monday was a company holiday for me, so the wife and I were off for the 3 days. I updated you all, I think the last time that I recorded an episode of either Tazewell or Midtown, and shared with you all that you know, what our plans were. Well, you know, as the saying goes, best laid plans of mice and men. You know, things didn't go exactly as according to plan. We ran into major obstacles on getting the old grout, the old thin set, and everything off of the floor, the area of the floor where we were planning on putting the new tile, placing the new tile. And that literally took me hours to do, and I ended up having to, I know I talked to you all about sort of the process that I was using, some of the tools that I was using, the fact that I had a couple of old wood chisels that, you know, I no longer use in the wood shop, and I sort of use those for other kind of projects where I need something that I can sort of beat on and whatever. And so between those, you know, just other types of chisels and hammers, brute force, blood, sweat, and maybe even a tear or two, and yes, there was some blood in the whole endeavor, we got it done. But because it took so much longer than it did on the fireplace project, we sort of ran behind the rest of the weekend. And we also possibly misjudged the amount of tile that we would need. And so as we were getting to a point on Sunday where we had hoped that we would have been completely finished with putting the tile down, obviously for that weekend, we still needed to grout and everything, but we had reached that point to where that we had hoped that we would have been finished, but we weren't, obviously. And so we realized that, well, we weren't going to tile on Monday because we were at a good stopping point, and we weren't 100% sure if we were going to have enough tile, and it wasn't something that we could just go down to the orange box store and buy some more. This was sort of only available through their online ordering system, so it wasn't something like we could go down to the store and pick up a couple of extra tiles if we needed to in a pinch. So we went ahead and decided that, you know, the best plan was to go ahead and kind of stop where we were, which was a good stopping point, get things cleaned up, basically use Monday to sort of recover from all of the problems that we had in getting the tile and everything chipped away from the floor and everything, and then order the tiles, get the tiles in, and then basically get a fresh start at it today, essentially, so the 24th. So we're probably a little more than half done with the area, and it's not super huge. It's only about 24 square feet, ladies and gentlemen, and I realize in the grand scheme of things that is nothing, but the type of tile, the area, and it's because the area is quite small, it's difficult for two people, for my wife and I, to kind of get in there and together. So we end up usually sort of taking turns. One of us lays the tile while the other one kind of does the thin set and everything, and it is such a time-consuming process. These are not just 12 by 12 inch square tiles that we need to lay down. If this were the case, I would have been done in no time flat. But these are mosaic tiles. They are on a backer material, but for the most point, the design that my wife has, we end up laying a lot of the tiles individually, just because of the way that she kind of wants the things in her sort of in her mind. So what is running out of spray? We're coming up on, I think, almost out of spray, or we are out of spray. So let's head on back to the main farm, and we'll when we get there, we'll wrap things up. But anyway, that is sort of the situation. That is sort of what has been happening in my world the last bit. So we are behind. So we had planned or had hoped that we would be grouting this weekend. That is not going to happen. We're going to finish the tile. The new tile came in, and I think I think we made the right choice by basically waiting. So we'll get the tile laid today, Saturday the 24th. Tomorrow will be our rest day, if you will, and we will then go back to work on Monday. And then next weekend, after the thin set for the other half of the floor area cures, we'll be able to get in there and grout that. And I believe we'll be able to put a button on that project, and all will be done, and all will be fine with the world. And I think from that point, we don't have any additional projects that the wife or I have in mind. I need to spend some time in the workshop, in the wood shop, getting caught up on some, getting some more pens made, because I've sold. Things are picking up in that little business, and so that's a good thing. And also, I've started doing some what is called label casting. Basically, if you're familiar with some of the pens that I make, and a few of you have been wonderful and have purchased some pens from me, and I thank you for that. If anyone is interested, the link and everything is down below, and I welcome you to check out my inventory. But I've been doing some label casting, and essentially just printing a design, a label, or something like that, off of onto a label, onto a weatherproof label, and then essentially, let me turn my HUD back on here where I can, there we go, we are filling up, where you attach a label to the tube, and then I cast that in a clear resin and then turn that material down on the lathe. And so if you have a logo, if you have a business or something like that you would like to have a logo or something put onto a pen, I can certainly accommodate those kind of things. So anyway, I think that this is probably a pretty good jumping off point, wrapping up point here. I've got some things I need to do off camera just to kind of keep everything moving along. Obviously, we've got our hard workers out working in field number 3. Maybe if we venture over this direction, we can see them. So we're going to just kind of continue to move the chains. Let's see if I can just jump over this fence, and we'll go out here and see if we can see them. I'm just going to continue to move the chains, move the progress and everything along. Most likely when we come back together, I think we've only got, after this field is seeded, we've only got another field or two, I think, that will need to be, he's out there somewhere. I don't think we can see him, but I can see him on the mini map there. But anyway, we will keep things moving along. I think after field number 3 is done, I think that the only fields that we have remaining to seed will be 5 and one other field. And we'll get that done, and then like I said, hopefully we'll be able to do some mowing, and then just kind of tending to the animals, and just scooting along, and eventually we'll get to a point where that we can hopefully harvest the wheat first. The wheat should come due to harvest certainly before the corn and the soybeans do, and so once that time comes along, then we'll certainly take advantage of that and get that done. And yeah, and I'll update you all as time goes by. So anyway, folks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tazewell County. This is, again, episode number 11. And thank you for being wonderful viewers of my channel. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for being subscribers. And thank you for your comments and such as well. And if you have any questions, you can always leave a question, leave a comment down below the video. I try to read each and every one of those as time permits, or you can head over to Discord and get connected with the Grizzly Bear Sims Discord server there and text your questions, and others may even answer those as well. Let's see, I am going to be doing some traveling in the next couple of weeks for work. That really, I don't know if that will impact much as far as the schedule is concerned. We will just kind of have to see, but I need to wrap things up because I need to go upstairs, and I think the wife is up. I've heard some stirring around upstairs up above my head, and go and see if she is ready to start laying tile and getting this project that has gone not necessarily over budget, but certainly over schedule, but I don't think any of that could have been avoided. Get this thing buttoned up, get it wrapped up, and move on to greener pastures. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all again for watching. Take good care of yourselves and also of each other. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.